Meeting. Josh, will you give an invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for bringing each and every one of us here, Lord. Please guide and direct our discussions today, Lord, and allow us to represent you in everything we do. And thank you for each one here. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Shelley, you want to do roll call?
Yes, sir. Darrell Legg.
Here.
Melvina Shotpouch. Keith Austin.
Here.
Danny Callison. Here. Julia Coates. Here. Sean Crittenden.
Here.
Joe Deere. Mike Dobbins.
Here.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Johnny Kidwell.
Here.
Wes Snowfire. Dora Petskowski.
Here.
Joshua Sam.
Here.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Theo Smith.
Here.
Kendessa Teehee. Victoria Vasquez. We have a quorum.
All right, thanks, Shelley. If y'all have had a chance to look at the minutes, can I get a motion for approval? All right. Reports, Human Services, Jennifer Kirby.
Good afternoon, Council. You have my report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer your questions.
Any questions for, Condessa?
Ms. Kirby, I don't have a question. I just want to commend you and your staff in Human Services with the recent flooding that has taken place. I know that you and your staff were working extremely hard to meet the needs of our Cherokee citizens who were impacted by that flooding, some of whom it was really catastrophic in their lives. And I just really want to thank you and your staff for always being responsive and for working really hard to meet the needs of our Cherokee citizens.
Thank you. We had, several staff that couldn't get here, but I will definitely pass that along to staff that were answering their phones and also that were able to make it here and be responsive to the flood victims. So, thank you.
Yeah. Speaker?
Hey, Jennifer, are you going to hang around or are you leaving? If you are, I can meet you outside for just about a 1-minute conversation.
I will be right here. I'll
Okay.
be here throughout the entirety of the meeting.
Okay,
so.
I want to catch you
Okay.
before you leave.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I just want to report, there were a couple of things that were asked last month about the burials, diligently working on that. We'll have something rolled out on some of the requests that were made, hopefully very soon. And then you had asked Councilman Crittenden about the not life insurance, but burial policy for an alternative. And I am working with Commerce, our department's working with Commerce to see if we can come up with some kind of solutions and research some possible burial policy for citizens, yeah.
Anyone else? Well, Jennifer, once again, I'd like to publicly say thank you. You're my 4:45 on Friday afternoon person that I call. It seems like I always get those late calls right before the weekend gets here, but you take them, you run with it, and you help people, and I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank
bet.
you. Couldn't do it without our staff. Thank you.
True. All right, Department of Transportation Infrastructure, Michael Lynn.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm going to begin real quick by passing out a report on the council ARPA funding. Okay, what I've passed out is a spreadsheet that we use to track the council infrastructure funding. So it'll show you projects that you have approved and projects that are moving forward. I believe we have one on here that is pending right now, pending some further approvals. But other than that, these are the projects that are moving forward. So I just wanted to report those to you. The ARPA funding is being handled a little bit different than your motor fuel, motor vehicle, and general fund monies that you have for road infrastructure. So those are usually reported to you in Executive Finance Committee. And since these are being handled a little differently, Mr. Reese and my department have worked out this particular way of handling it, and we'll just report to you in this committee each month. So if you have any questions about any of those, don't hesitate to give me a call. You have our report from last month. If you have any questions, Mr. Chair, I'll be glad to answer.
Anyone have, go ahead, Speaker.
Just going back to these ARPA funds, is there a specific time frame that they have to be spent by?
There was 3 years from the date. I think that would be 24, I believe.
By
2024.
2024 they have to be spent?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Sean.
Mr. Lynn, this is our regular funds that we have. Those are available now, too?
Yes, sir. When you say regular, just so I'm clear, you're talking about motor fuels, motor
Yes, sir.
vehicles?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Aside from the ARPA?
Yes, sir.
So, all right. And just, I can call Deb if I've lost my copy of how much money we've got and stuff, so.
Absolutely.
That's another new, thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Lynn.
All right. Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, I do
You wanna
have
go into
a
public comments here?
video that I'd like to show to you real
All
quick.
right.
I've been wanting to show this here, or there we go. So this is a Rocky Mountain School bridge. It's under construction right now. This was taken, some drone footage taken May 6th. And there's right after a major rain. I don't know if it was the big rain event, but it was after a major rain event. We had some washout there on this side that he's coming around on now. The part there with the tarp over it has about part of the concrete deck poured. I believe they have the deck completely done by now. But I just wanted to show you this. We have I think I've talked in this committee before in the past about using drones in our department. We've got a team of pilots that go out and fly these projects. They fly most all of our projects, our active construction projects. They try to get to them they've got them on a rotating schedule. They try to get to them about every 2 weeks, and so that we can keep track of the progress in the office. It helps us tremendously. So that we're not having to visit the projects consistently. We send these out there, and also it provides documentation if there's ever issues that come up along the way, especially when it comes to scheduling or construction scheduling issues. We know exactly where they were on whatever, every date that they go fly them. So, but I just wanted to show you this. This is a project that we're proud of. It's moving along very well. It's a contractor called Silver Spur Construction. I believe they're out of the Haskell area. But they've done excellent work and have really jumped on it and moving. They're ahead of schedule actually. So, but I think that's about it on the video. If you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
We have any more questions? Go ahead, Jim.
How many days is that project?
I don't know that right offhand, Mr. Counselor. Let me look here. I don't have that in my report right now offhand, but I can find out and let you know. I'll let you know.
Speaker.
Can they shoot that video to you in real time? I mean, right when they're shooting it, they stream it to you
Yes.
Is
Stream
that
it
right?
to my office or our office.
or whoever?
It's streamed to an iPad that they use right there on site. Yes, sir.
And then they can shoot that to you?
Yeah, they bring it back, process it, and then it's available to us or anybody.
Oh, I
Yes.
see.
Yeah.
I thought they could shoot it right that you could watch live, like,
No,
kinda like
no, we're not.
CNN or something.
We're not quite there yet.
Okay.
No,
All
no.
right.
That would be good, though.
That'd be cool.
Yes. All right. Well, I appreciate you all. Thank
Michael,
you.
we appreciate you. You do a lot of hard work for us. Housing Services, Shay Smith?
Good afternoon. My name is Shay Smith, or Shay Stanfield, as I've changed my name in the last year, even though that's been my name for quite some time. I was Shay Smith so long at work that I just stayed Shay Smith while I was here at the Cherokee Nation. So anyway, I'm sorry Jerry is unable to be with you today, but you should all have a copy of her report. There are just a few things I'd like to address and point out, and then if you have any questions about her report, if I don't know the answer, I will get the answer for you and we'll get back to you. First, I wanted to start off by saying the Housing Authority has recently changed its rehab policy to align with and take full advantage of the Housing Job Sustainable Communities Act reauthorization. So we made some changes last month so that we can serve even more households, and we're already doing that. That act is already having a big impact on the citizens we serve. So just wanted to let you know that it's working, and thank you very much for that. We appreciate it. The other thing is the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. We have been operating that program since March 31st, and I just wanted to let you know that we have gotten out almost $17 million to nearly 5,000 households since March 31st of 2021. That's huge. It's a lot of applications. That's a lot of families. Some of those families have submitted more than one application, so we're talking, probably 10,000 applications, but 5,000 individual households have been helped by that program. That program ends September 30th. We are currently experiencing about a 6 to 8 week backlog because of the number of applications, so we anticipate closing the application portal June 1st. That way we are able to make sure we process all of the applications that have been submitted, get those all taken care of before September 30. If we are able to get those processed and out the door before September 30 and there's money left, we will open it back up. We'll, of course, let you all know if we do, in fact, do that, so that you can share that with your citizens so that we make sure we get all the money out the door. So, talking about COVID relief, one other thing, and I'm a little nervous to talk about this, but I'm going to. So the Cherokee Nation's Homeowner Assistance Fund was recently approved by the Department of Treasury. So that money was 10% of the Cherokee Nation's allocation was sent to the Cherokee Nation initially, basically to do whatever we needed to do with. You could launch a pilot program, you could start doing some studies, you could start onboarding staff. We used it to launch a pilot program. That program, as of the end of April, had served, we've served 12 individuals with homeownership assistance funds. There were many more in the pipeline. We had gotten about 46 applications. Since that date, since April 30th, we've served many more. We'll report that again next month. Right now, that program has only been open to people with a Cherokee Nation or a Housing Authority of the Cherokee Nation mortgage. We anticipate opening that up to Cherokee citizens within the 14-county area in the next few weeks. As soon as we do that, we will notify Gail and Shelley so that they can pass the word on to you. But I just wanted to let you know that that program is almost ready to launch. So if you have individuals who could utilize that program, and just as a reminder, the Homeownership Assistance Fund is specifically for mortgage holders. So it's similar to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, except that it is for homeowners, and the time frame to use that money is quite a bit longer. So emergency rental assistance ends September 30, 2022. This program will be available, assuming funds last, through about 2026. So the pace with Homeownership Assistance Fund will be not quite as fast and furious. Things are different with mortgages. You're not going to get evicted right away. We've got a little bit of time to work through things. There's some self-sufficiency counseling that's going to be involved with some of that. But I just wanted to let you guys know that we are getting ready to roll out that program. We anticipate it being able to serve a lot of families, be a huge benefit to Cherokee homeowners within the 14-county area initially. With that being said, those are the only things I specifically wanted to point out, but I'd be happy to take any questions.
Go ahead, Milvana. You're prettier than Sean.
Storm shelters, do they still have that program? Do they still do storm shelters?
You can't, yes, individuals can apply for a storm shelter through the Housing Authority of the Cherokee Nation's rehab program. We also have a program called the iSave program, which is a matched savings program. So if an individual saves up to $1,000, we will match it at a rate of 3 to 1. So we would then give them $3,000. to make some home improvements with, and a storm shelter falls under a home improvement
Oh,
project.
okay. Is there a income guideline to that?
There is. So the iSave program has an 80% national median income household cap.
Okay,
Same with the rehab program.
okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Sean.
All right. Shay, bear with me on this. I'm always interested, like everybody, in this housing stuff. Home ownership that you were talking about just now. So that is if they've fallen behind on their mortgage.
If they've fallen behind on their mortgage, they don't necessarily have to have a mortgage as long as they're a homeowner. So it could be someone who's living in a paid-off home, but we can help with delinquent property taxes. We can help with delinquent homeowners insurance. We can help with future mortgage payments, up to 3 months at a time, once every 12 months. We can help with past due mortgage payments. We can help with individuals who are in a forbearance who, what we find many times is people didn't realize that there may be a lump sum due at the end of that forbearance period. We can help with that. Basically, we're looking, you can use the money in almost any way that's going to be able to keep a family safely housed. Now, the caveat to that is they have to be able to afford to stay in the home after we provide some financial assistance. So if we get them caught up and they still aren't, if we pay a $15,000 delinquent balance, there still has to be a plan for them to be able to afford that home. So if we get them caught up, but they still, have no income and a $2,000 a month mortgage, there's going to be a little bit of issue there. So I don't want to mislead anybody, make anybody think it's a give me. There is going to be some financial coaching involved, and there will be an analysis of each application to determine affordability, to make the best use of the money.
Bottom line for me to tell constituents is if they're having trouble with their house payment, this is what we need to send them to.
House payment or anything that would affect ownership. So people whose homes are getting ready to go up for tax sale.
Taxes, okay,
Tax
that's a big
sales,
one in my part of it.
Right. And they don't even have to be ready to go to tax sale, even if they're just delinquent 1
That's
year.
that'd be a good one right there. And ma'am, boy, if I don't know this by now, I'm never, okay. So the emergency rental is like, that's always been, you know,
Regular rental assistance, okay?
like, now, rental assistance, that's the thing that has only so many slots.
Correct.
But then there's been this emergency rental assistance where you give vouchers. Now, that's different from ERAP, isn't it?
That is. What you're talking about with a voucher is called the Temporary Assistance Program.
Temporary.
Yeah. It's also
Yeah,
referred to as TAP.
Yeah, see,
Yes.
when people would come to me with this emergency rental thing, which blew me away, that they were getting help with back months of rent and then coming and signing up again. But that don't affect our got evicted or just those emergency. We'll still have those vouchers.
That is correct.
According.
That's
they
correct.
Qualify.
The program that ends September 2022 is just the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, and that's the program that takes care of the individual's past due rent and entire future rent up to the fair market rent rate. So the vouchers you're talking about
Will
are
still
based on
remain. income.
They're $250, $300 a month, and then the applicant pays the difference. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program was funded by the Department of Treasury, and it will cover all of an applicant's rent up to the fair market rent rate.
Would you mind sending Gail probably your phone number and your email information and stuff? And
No, I don't mind.
thank you.
Councilman Kidwell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ma'am, thank you for being here today. One thing about the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, when you open that up for portions of at-large, that was a great thing that you guys did, and I know the administration, everybody worked hard on that, making that available. I would be interested to know the breakdown of the funds that the lump sum number that you gave us earlier about how much we spent on that. I'd be interested to see how much of that was utilized by Oklahoma and then some of those contiguous counties which we opened it up to. Which leads me to also say, as I know that you said initially earlier on the mortgage assistance, has there been talk about possibly opening that up the same way we did the rental assistance program?
Yes. Yes, there has. We will, again, initially open it up just to the 14-county area, try to get a handle on those applications, kind of see where we're at with money, and then, assuming we're able to, we'll open it up to the rest of the
Wow.
state.
I mean, be a huge help for a lot of people, and on their behalf, I'll say thank you in advance. I'm sure that you'll get a lot of people clamoring for that. So I appreciate you being here today, Chair.
You're welcome. I just want to be clear, I'm not making a promise about that.
Yeah.
I'm not making a promise
I
about
won't
that.
come back on you. Yeah,
Thank you. Okay.
it won't be one of those things. But I do appreciate you guys even considering it. It's nice to see it even being talked about as a good thing. Thank you.
Great.
Sure.
Councilman Olson.
Shay, you spoke about the median income, 80% of the.
Yes.
Did you say national median income?
Yes.
Well, that puts us at quite an advantage because Oklahoma's median income is quite a bit lower than national to begin with.
National median income, I want to say, again, don't quote me on this, I want to say for a family of four is maybe like 79,900, something like that. Jennifer, does that sound right?
Well,
To you? Never mind.
I actually looked up the quick numbers here, and I think it's 74,000 for typical family of four, but that, you could be correct. And Oklahoma is like 54, so it's a whole bunch different for national median income. That truly is an advantage for us here in this area.
It is.
But I'm assuming that still takes into account household size, correct?
It does take into account household size, and I think it sounds like you're talking about the rehab program. The Homeownership Assistance Fund, the program where we're going to be able to help individuals with mortgages, the income guideline is actually much higher. It's 100% of national median income.
Okay.
Or 150% of the area median income. And so we'll check both, and whichever one is higher is the income guideline that can be used.
That's
Typically,
phenomenal.
national median income is the highest, but we have both in the policy just in case there's an area that it's a little different.
That puts us in the position to actually help families
Yes.
who are, income's okay, but they found themselves in a temporary situation, typically, that could really help them out.
Right.
Well, that's just phenomenal that we've got that tool available right now.
Yes.
Anyone else? At the very beginning, you said that y'all changed your rules from emergency rehab to match rehab, or you changed your rules, housing rehab to match?
We made some changes to the rehab policy
What
to
is
be
that?
able to take full advantage of the Housing, Jobs, and Sustainable Communities Act reauthorization.
Okay.
So income guidelines have been increased a little bit up to the 80%.
Gotcha. Thank
That's
you,
one of the
thank
big
you.
changes.
I appreciate it, Shay. All right. Anyone else? Shay, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much.
All
Good
right.
to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. Old business, none pending. New business, none pending. Any announcements? Make a motion? Somebody give me a motion? Go ahead.
Just remember, council meeting we're down the hall today.
That's right.
Awesome.
It'll be, okay, all right. Motion to adjourn? All right.